I have served as a commissioner before when I lived in the west of the island. I was on Patrick Commissioners, and I enjoyed being a part of the local community, not just enjoying everything that the community had to offer me, but to give something back. We've moved into Laxey about 5 years ago now, and thoroughly enjoy the Laxey community. The wider parish is just an amazing place to live, and I feel so blessed to live there. It would be very nice to sow something back, and the Commissioners is obviously a very good way of doing that.
What made you decide to stand? Was there any particular problems or issues that you thought maybe I can help solve this, or I have the skill set to be able to help manage the problem?
I think having been a commissioner before, I'm under no illusions that most of policy is decided by central government, and the commissioners actually do have a very local focus. So I wouldn't say that I'm going to make drastic changes to island policy as a commissioner. However, looking at our local community, there are all sorts of things that I would like to see Laxey and the wider community thrive in, and we'll land with the other commissioners. It's already a ship that's already sailing, so we'll join their team and hopefully add a voice in the mix that will bring some life to it.
One of the biggest issues facing Garff residents at the moment is the Mooir Vannin Offshore Windfarm. Now, where do you stand on that?
I think it's a very complicated issue. I do think the commissioners have a role and responsibility in looking out for the interests of the parish. That's what we're elected to do, and this is going to have a very significant impact on the parish. One of the things that we're often told we're not allowed to be concerned about is when things are built in our backyard, we get accused of being NIMBYs. Don't build it in my backyard. But actually, we take a great deal of pride in our backyard. The Isle of Man is a beautiful place, and people come to the island because of that beauty. And I am all for renewable energy. I think practically it's a great thing to do, but it has to make economic sense, and part of the economic sense is fitting with the amenity of the local community. For us on the Laxey coast there, I think it's going to make a detrimental effect to living in Laxey. And yes, that is on my back doorstep, as it is for many thousands of other people. I don't make an apology for that. But in the same way as I wouldn't drop litter in the street because I take pride in the place where I live, I am also going to gently and carefully resist big business dropping their litter just off my coast.
So what do you think are the other then main issues facing Lonan residents and Garff residents, obviously, as the wider area?
I think commissioners are always looking at the basic needs of a community, and obviously you need the bins collecting, you need to keep the pavements clear. There is the day-to-day running of a beautiful community. I think the community as it is at the moment is a lovely place to live, and I would look to be preserving rather than radically changing. I also believe in trying to make things efficient. I run small businesses, my background is in business, and if you run a small business but you don't keep an eye on the bottom line, then actually it all goes pear-shaped, even with the best intentions. And I think there are lots of good intentions, but it's just a matter of making sure that we are sensible and prudent with ratepayers' money to do what needs doing and keeping the place running sweet.
So what other experiences do you have outside of that make you think you'd be a good commissioner for the people of Lonan and Garff?
I think being connected with a community is vital. I'm part of a local church. I'm involved with family activities. The local school in Laxey has been great with my children. As a primary school, it's just an amazing community resource there, and it's a real hub for that sense of community in the village. I've connected with local businesses in a personal context. I choose to frequent businesses in the parish, not just because I'm up for election, but I have done over the last 5 years because I enjoy living there. And I think one of the things that small businesses really benefit from is local people who take pride in the fact that they've got those businesses and that they use them. And I'd love to see that encouraged, built up as time goes on.
What would you like to achieve if you're elected to the board? Is there anything you've got your mind set on that you think, yes, this is something I'd like to see, with an outcome?
I think realistically, they call the commissioners the thankless task. And in some ways, it is just a matter of making sure that the little things work. Commissioners are really important on the island, and I have a heart for what the commissioners do. But we have to be realistic. The commissioners look after the local issues so that central government can concentrate on the national issues. And we have a central government election coming up, but for the commissioners to do what they need to do, a good connection with central government and a good sort of fitting with central government. So we would look to support whatever central government is doing that is good for the parish, and at the same time we would be raising any concerns that the parish would have, just so that central government can consider those and make decisions that are in view of what our needs are in the local community.
You mentioned you've been a commissioner before, obviously in the west of the island. So how do you think that will help you if you do get elected to the board with that previous experience? What do you think you'll be able to draw from that experience?
I think it certainly helps in terms of how you land. We have a set of commissioners in Garff who are doing the job, and it's a ship that's already sailing. Coming in as somebody who's done it before, I hope to fit in well with the team, be a good team player, and to work with them for the good of the community.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.